Welcome. And so today's topic that we're going to discuss is all about abandonment and absences. Throughout our lives, uh, we have all of these thoughts that are buried deep within us. And lots of times we're not understanding what the thought is because we really can't hear it. And we're not always conscious of the thought being there. We're not really sure or the power and control that these thoughts are truly having on how we are perceiving ourselves and how we are making our decisions. And a lot of us, I would almost say pretty much everybody at some point, has has had some kind of absence in their life or some kind of abandonment issue. Um, Things that you needed as a child that um, you didn't get. Um, Things of people that you needed them to be around there to help you or to support you that weren't there. Abandonment is a hard thing to always wrestle your mind around because of the way our mind and body tends to bury all of it over the course of time. It comes up from time to time when you're getting into deep conversations and stuff, but it is not something that you are necessarily always conscious of. The fact that these decisions that you are making are based upon things of abandonment issues. And it comes out a lot in the language that you are using, the language that you use when you're talking to others, when you're talking about yourself, or when you're talking to yourself. That's where you'll really start discovering it if you're paying attention to the language. That you will see that, man, that sounds needy, or that sounds lonely. Um, the thing is most of the time we don't pay attention to our own inner dialogue. We hear it and we allow it to affect us negatively. Sometimes what you need to do is like when you hear those thoughts, think of if somebody else said them. Give those lines to a different character and have that person say it. And then you'd be able to go, man, that person's needy. Uh, but you can't seem to always like notice that in your own. One of the things with this abandonment issues is that when you are a child, you need certain things. You need to be able to feel certain things, and you need love coming to you in a certain manner. And so a lot of us tend to kind of end up blaming the people that were around us when we were young, which would be our parents, your mother, your father, whatever. And there's always, one that you're a little bit at odds with because they were either not there enough, or you don't feel that they cared for you or loved you enough because of the way that they treated you. And what I'm here to say is that, you know, they were once young too, and they had needs just like you did. And those needs weren't necessarily met either. And so you can't expect that they are going to be able to give you something that they didn't have. That's one of the things that we talk a lot about in these videos, is that you can't feel something that you don't already feel. So someone can't make you feel anything if you don't already feel it. And you can't give something that you don't already have to give, which is why most people are confused and always stuck going around in these circles, which just creates more of these absences and more of these abandonment issues when you're like trying to look for love. Well, you can't love somebody else if you don't have it for yourself. You cannot feel love from somebody else if you don't already know what love feels like by loving yourself. And so when it comes down to like trying to blame like your parents or people that are early in your life and stuff, you have to understand they were just people too. They had their own wants and needs that were never given to them. And so you can't expect that they can give you everything either. The thing is that knowing this, when you move forward from this moment forward, in this moment, you can change all that. You can make sure that you are that person, that you are the person that somebody else needs. You can make sure that you are going to be the person that is going to connect with that other person. Understand and listen to them so that they don't repeat this. Because I guarantee you, if you do not deal with these issues, all you're going to do is repeat these issues. You will end up having children that will end up feeling the same way that you felt. Because you can only give them what you knew how to give, or what you have within you. And you've got those abandonments, those absences in your life. And all you'll do is just keep this cycle going. This is your opportunity to be able to change this. Even if your children are grown at this point, you can go back and you can fix this. You can mend those relationships. You can fix all of those absences. You can't make up for that time, but that time, it's gone. But what you can do is you can change today. You can change this minute, this second, this moment, and move forward. It'll change everything about any relationships that you have in the way that you view yourself in life. But it will change the way that others are viewing themselves. And so with all of that, so what I want you to do for the homework for this week is I want you to go back and try to fix some of these patches. If they are your parents or your loved ones that from your childhood that left you abandoned or felt absence, go back and try to mend that. If it's your children, then go and do that work. And if these situations don't necessarily apply to you, just understand to do the work for yourself, to let it go. Those abandonments and things had nothing to do with you. It doesn't mean that you weren't enough, doesn't mean that you weren't lovable. It doesn't mean that you were ever really abandoned. It just means that those people weren't there or weren't able to give you those things, and you can just let it go. No longer allow it to have that control or power over you. And know that you are enough. You've always been enough. And so until next time, you take care.